And welcome back to the Cardinals franchise, where last episode, it was bad. We got completely and utterly destroyed by the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers was not the Aaron Rodgers we've seen in real life, and Kyler Murray ended up getting benched after the first half. Unfortunately, relating back to real life, he is injured and will most likely, I'm pretty sure, has definitely been said that he will miss the rest of the season, which is unfortunate for the Cardinals. But in this series, he has not been injured. He's definitely struggled with his durability and stamina throughout the entire series. So maybe there's to say that there's like a lingering injury or something that's been nagging at him that has caused his wildly inconsistent level of play. Where, as you can see here, 18 touchdowns, not too bad considering we're about halfway through the season. But 14 interceptions, that's probably what you would like to see at most by the end of the season. Yards is doing fairly well, could end around 4,000 depending on how the rest of the season goes. Completion percentage is looking good. He has been sacked a little over once a game, and he is also running the ball. Currently, he actually is our leading rusher in terms of yards, not amount of carries. That would go to Chuba Hubbard. He has 3 touchdowns on the ground, but he's also fumbled 3 times there. So turnovers have just been a really big problem for Kyler Murray this entire series, and something that we've tried to do a couple different things to fix, but really hasn't been able to. Currently, as the season sits right now, 21 total touchdowns, but 17 turnovers solely on him, which is probably, I would equate for most of our turnovers. Tyler Huntley, when he's gotten out there, has played okay, but he's no Kyler Murray. He can't make the same throws, at least, that Murray can, but he could run the offense, and he's played all right. He does have 4 interceptions, though. In the rushing department, we only have 1 fumble from Huntley, and then 1 fumble from Rondale Moore. And actually 2 from Jawan Collins, which is weird because he doesn't have a single carry. And I don't think he's fumbled on kick returns or punt returns. I could be wrong. But as you can see, most of the turnovers are by Kyler Murray. Now, we don't have a quarterback controversy. We will be sticking with Murray, but if once again we see him have 3 to 4 turnovers in a first half, like what I think it was last week, and I think 2 weeks prior to that as well, he's going to get pulled because we can't be tossing away opportunities that we need to be capitalizing on to get back into games. Now, it was not just Kyler in the offense last week. We lost 52-7 to the Green Bay Packers, so the defense definitely didn't play well. But somehow in that game, we still managed to get a breakout defensive lineman. And it's actually for Tim Settle. Coach, I don't know if it's the food they're serving in the team cafeteria or what, but I've been on fire recently. Hopefully it's not Taco Bell. Last week was the best game of the season for me. I want to be one of those guys that can do that every week. I'm ready to take the next step. So let's bring it on against the G-Men this week. He will need, or the team will need, to hold the Giants to less than 100 rushing yards against Saquon Barkley. Or Tim Settle himself needs to have 1 interception, forced fumble, tackle for loss, or sack, which is definitely possible. And these two teams are honestly pretty well balanced. They are an 80 overall, we're an 81 overall. We have technically the advantage on offense. They will technically have the advantage of defense, but they don't really play each other, so that kind of cancels out pretty much. So we'll see if we can bounce back, if Kyler can bounce back after getting benched last week, and if the defense can rise up and stop Saquon Barkley and the G-Men. Let's get the action underway. We will be receiving the opening kickoff here. Collins back to return. Hopefully doesn't have one of those fumbles that we're not sure where they came from. He's actually done really well in the return game this year, and he'll start us off at the 28. As for the offense, I think we maybe need to try to bring down some of the passing a little bit, not in terms of number that we're passing or amount that we're passing, but how far downfield we're passing. Try to go a little bit of some shorter, quicker plays to try to rebuild Kyler's confidence. And as you probably saw there, their quarterback is Jimmy G, another quarterback in real life that is injured. So hopefully they'll all be able to bounce back well next year. A short run from Hubbard there. But as we had talked about prior to the start of the game, Kyler's durability and stamina has been in question. And after just 2 plays, he already is in the yellow, almost orange, but a really nice catch there from Rondale Moore. Another guy that I think is injured and out for the season for the Cards in real life. But in this series, he's done a really good job of progressing and really becoming a solid staple of this offense. And I should have went to the outside. We had Marshall open with a lead blocker, but we'll go down the middle, gain of 2. Yeah, we'll look to do a little bit more of some underneath passing, maybe a little bit more medium. I think that medium kind of pass is really the best for Kyler, but we'll go with a swing pass here out of the backfield. Derek Young breaks 1 tackle, but then gets rocked. However, he does get the first down for us, and he'll head off the field. Hubbard will check in. We'll go with some more read option, hand this one off down the middle. Hubbard will get about 4-ish yards. Probably stick to mostly shotgun today, kind of give Kyler a little bit more time to evade pass rush if he needs to. Throw to the outside, Rondale Moore caught, first down, and then out of bounds. Say so far today, first drive going well. Don't want to jinx it, but definitely playing better than last week to start off with. How about, not Malcolm Brown, Hollywood Brown. Although I can't remember his first name right now. Is it Malcolm Brown? It might actually be. I don't know. I'm going to have to double check the depth chart. And we're into the end zone. Nice run there from Hubbard. Was able to stay on his feet for just enough to fall down into the end zone. But that was a great response by the offense after last week, where they only managed to get 7 points in total. We need to see if the defense themselves can bounce back as well. And I remembered while doing the kicking in between plays, it's Marquise Brown, not Malcolm Brown. Malcolm Brown is a football player, though, in the NFL, but is a defensive tackle, so not the correct one for us. They're almost the exact opposite of receiver, as Saquon Barkley gets a first down. And once again, needing Tim Settle to get at least 1 tackle for loss, sack, forced fumble, maybe even an interception, where the entire team needs to hold up. Nice grab there from Murphy Jr. Headed down the sideline. Won't beat the actually pretty quick offensive lineman there, but had to jump up, spin around, and gets the interception. Great way to answer for the defense again, just like the offense. Hopefully we can have a turning point here and keep that going. And it also sets us up with a really nice field position here at the 23. We'll drop into pistol. And how about we toss this one out to Nall? Haven't seen him too much at the actual fullback spot, but he'll get the catch here and the first. We've been primarily using him as a power back, bringing out the second tight end to play the fullback whenever he's in. And he gets a key block there on the linebacker, and Murray can't quite get the edge, but we'll get a gain of 3. And that brings us inside the 10 at the 9. Let's go a little bit of RPO swing pass here. And yeah, we'll toss this one out. Have a good block on the outside, and we are in. Derek Young. Both of the running backs today have the touchdowns on the board. And now the Giants find themselves down 2 possessions, 14-0. And Murphy could have had another one there. Kind of looked like he expected the receiver to make a play, but it just sailed on him. And Murphy could only get 1 hand on it and not much of a grasp on it. As they go back to that outside, Murphy, a step late this time, will be a catch for the first down. That was the first completion on the day for Garoppolo, completed to Galladay. That's who it was. And another completion there. We've at least been really close on these 2 catches. That time goes to Ingram. It'll be a 2nd and 5. Jimmy G in the shotgun will be another couple underneath routes. They will go to the outside and caught. 17, nice hands. Took a shot from Murphy. but holds on. And they'll move into plus territory for the first time this evening, this afternoon. I don't know what time we're playing this game. Setting up the screen pass. They have Barkley wide open. Hale's coming in a bit behind, and Murphy will force him out at the 20. And that will end the first quarter. It's been mostly Cardinals, but the Giants seem to have things in motion. And to start the second quarter, they'll come out two tight ends to that right-hand side. Saquon in the backfield. It will be a pass, and that will be a touchdown for Tony. Oliver dove, missed the tackle. Quick hurdle and into the end zone, putting the G-men on the board, 14-7. And now it's time to see how the offense does after the Giants are able to get one back. Do we keep the pedal down? And we try to set up the receiver screen. Nice broken tackle, 2 spin moves, and then a good hit there from number 36. Cleans it up, but a gain of 6 for the rookie receiver. Really broke out that spin move twice on the same play, and it worked both times. Going to set up the quarterback draw here. Kyler to the left-hand side will break a tackle and get the first down to about the 40. They'll credit the tackle to Ojulari, although it looks like a couple guys probably got their hand on Murray towards the end. Try to set up the running back draw this time. Doesn't go anywhere. So on 2nd and 10, we'll stay out same formation. Trips to the right, one to the left. Marquise Brown, and that's where we're going to go. And that pass sailed a little bit on Murray, but luckily no defender immediately in the area. Could have used a little less loft on that, a little bit more power behind it. Somewhere in between would have been good. Should have a nice pass there. Good job from Kyler. He's missed those passes a couple times in recent games. Just the timing routes, they've been a little off. But he is, I would say, the best at throwing the medium passes. That's what I would say probably his best game, if you will. And that one's knocked out, intended for more. That was actually the first incompletion for Kyler on the day, 9 of 10. So doing much better than what we saw last week. We have a cutback lane, but Derek Young gonna get all the way to the outside. Still good gain of a little bit. Honestly, couldn't remember. Was it 2nd and 10? I think it was 2nd and 10. So gain of 7. We'll bring up 3rd and short. We have a couple different options here. Gonna need to step up with Murray. Get what we can. Slide down. Had a linebacker wearing number 8. Interesting. And on 1st and 10, we'll flip the formation here. Maybe look for more to the corner, although they cover that really well. They actually cover everything really well. We'll have to toss this one away. So on 2nd and 10 at the 20. Let's bring out Hubbard and go with a little bit of RPO. And we'll hand this one off with plenty of blocking space there. Good job from the offensive line. Will get us forward for a 1st and 10, 1st and goal, I should say, at the 10. The most unlucky of 1st and goals being as far away as possible without being able to get a fresh set of downs. But how about Trey McBride in the corner, and what a catch! In close coverage there with number 16. Fights him off, and I'm pretty sure that was a one-hand grab. Definitely going to need to watch the replay on this. Nice pass from Kyler to the corner, and what a snag. Fighting off the defender, one-hand, two-toe tap. That's going to be another touchdown on the board. Now, I love Zach Ertz, but trading him to the Panthers, for the most part, has been very rewarding. We've seen pretty good play from most of the guys we got in return for Ertz. Those being Chuba Hubbard, Marshall, the receiver, and we also got Tershawn Wharton. And he's been a little hit or miss. He hasn't played very consistently, but he's been okay. And we are still needing Tim Settle to make one of those plays, or the defense just to continue to hold Saquon Barkley shy of 100 yards. Done pretty well so far with us having a good lead. Nice hit there from Simmons. Galladay holds on to it. But as I was trying to say, with the offense keeping a solid lead, should force them to pass the ball more, which would just help out our defense or Tim Settle a good bit more. As they're going to have a late release with their tight end. One-on-one, Nick Hale jumps up, gets the INT inside the 10, has blockers out in front. Returning it to the 40 to about midfield, forced out by another offensive lineman. Well, so far today, Cardinals have come to play. A little under 2 minutes left before halftime. We have all of our timeouts, and can they please just throw the ball to the outside on those screen passes? Can't complain about the gain of 8, but I can complain about it possibly being a turnover almost every time I throw it. Make an audible here, try to go down the middle. We have some blockers. Hubbard couldn't find the gap, but does still get about 1.5 yards. So on 3rd and inches, we'll bring out the heavy full house set here. Fake the handoff. Murray fumbles it. Picked up by one of that was our tight end, Juwan Johnson, who technically got the first down, but they blew the play dead as soon as he recovered. With us being so close, yet too far to kick the field goal and too close to punt. Let's go for it on 4th down, try to get to the outside. Moore will have to step up and will get the first down. We'll call a timeout, 35 seconds left. And while so far today, offense, defense definitely playing better, we've seen them do this fairly too often as we get Derek Young to the outside, and a good pursuit there will force us to call another timeout. We have one more remaining. But yeah, we've seen this team be able to step up, come back from a bad game, but then fall right back into it later. And there's going to be an interception. Pass thrown behind the intended receiver, and number 8, who's been making plays for them, that's Edmonds, makes a really big one here. Throwing to Marshall there wasn't an awful idea, but ended up not being the best choice as they're trying to set up their screen this time and reread it. Yeah, choice to throw that pass wasn't a bad one. Just placement of it ended up being really bad and costly. We'll run a little bit of man coverage here as they go to the outside. We'll get 15, who takes a shoulder from Murphy Jr. Their second timeout called. 13 seconds left. Both teams have one timeout, two timeouts in total, one each. Yeah, just forget all of that. Run some more man coverage here. Pressure coming in. Gardick will get the first sack of the day. At least for us. I don't know if they've got a sack yet. It will force the final timeout. So let's make sure we back up the defensive guys here. Keep everything in front. Only send 4. They'll go with a quick pass. Galladay with the catch, back to about the 50-yard line, but that will send us into half. The game in favor of us. We made some mistakes here, but overall a much better first half than the entire game we saw last week. And we could even take a look at the stats to see how much better, and we're leading in basically all categories but average yards per play. And rushing yards for them, they only have 22, so looking good for Tim Settle. But let's see how the Seahawks are doing. Our division rival, and they're getting blown out right now, 21-0 to the 3-7 Texans. Any more updates maybe on San Fran? No, we'll see a rivalry matchup here, and the Vikings get the victory, 35-21. They move to 6-5 on the year. Packers fall to 5-7. I don't know how we lost to the Packers team. Here's the San Francisco 49ers. See how they did, and they lost. That is good for us. Help widen our lead if we can maintain a victory throughout the rest of this one. 24-21. Commanders win that one. So I would imagine as we have the second half kickoff here, we're the midday game. Not the earliest one, not prime time, but kind of that one that I feel like no one actually watches as much because you're recovering from the first couple games and getting ready for the last game. But the Giants will be starting off with possession, a chance to narrow their deficit down 14 as we start the third quarter. It'll be a pass play. Garoppolo will find his receiver, Tony, with the first down to the 41. That was only Tony's second catch of the day, but he does have a touchdown on the board, so you could argue what matters more. They go with a stretch to the outside. Nice pursuit there from Collins. Will bring him down for a loss of 1. Say Collins and Simmons have really grown a lot in the about season and a half that we've had with the Cardinals here. Gonna pass me off to, no, they're going all the way deep. Baker one-on-one, and that pass goes through the receiver's hands. Sometimes I just don't understand why DBs don't jump up to attempt to even touch the pass, but I guess in this case it works out for us. As they go across the middle, number 19, Galladay with the first once again. That G-man connection for the G-men working pretty well today. Jimmy G to Garoppolo. No, that is Garoppolo. And that Nice touch on that pass from Jimmy G. And I think I said Evans earlier. That's actually Knox, the tight end for the G-men. A lot of G's happening here as they go with a nice swing pass. Will get Saquon close to the 10, marked a little shy. But as we move closer to the end zone, they actually take out Saquon. Granted, he did just have a good grab there. Williams checks in. We'll switch to the 46 defense to help try to stop the run, although it doesn't work too well on that play. Oliver will finally bring him down, but at the 3. And now Saquon checks in for a much easier run. Try to squeeze down the D-line. So we'll send the 2 interior linebackers on a blitz. They have a path to the end zone, but a great job there by Thompson and Reynolds. Brings him down shy of the 1st. You see here, just good job by Reynolds to break or kind of disrupt the offensive lineman moving to the 2nd level. And Thompson able to clean it up. Great job. We'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Saquon's still in the backfield. They have 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Will be a handoff down the middle, and that is one of the easiest touchdowns you're going to see. Saquon right through the gap, narrows that deficit. Well, this game back to a 1-score, 1-possession game. Let's see how Kyler and the offense can come back, and with no blocking there from Marshall, we'll only get a gain of 1. He normally does pretty well on setting up blocks on that play, but completely whiffed this time around. To go the handoff, Hubbard. Nice solid gain. We'll bring up a 3rd and manageable. So on 3rd and 4, we'll come out 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Young in at the running back spot. Look for him on the quick angle route, and that's where we're going to go. Young with the 1st down to about the 40-41. So this team has definitely done a really good job of getting Derek Young involved in several different facets of the game. Running, receiving, some trick-ish kind of plays. Pass all the way across and caught there to Marshall. We've seen Kyler do that a couple times this year. Most of the times it's been picked, but luckily the receiver actually carried on his route this time. We do have an update at the bottom of the screen for the Seahawks. They get on the board 21-7 against the Texans. Pretty similar score to what we have here. Trey McBride underneath, not going to get the 1st down. Good stop there from 33 to keep him shy. So on 2nd and 1, pretty good job for the defense to line up against the read option, bringing down that safety. We'll still hand it off, and Derek Young will get the job done. Gain of about 2. We only needed 1. So with that fresh set of downs here, we have a 1-on-1 to the corner of the end zone, and no, doesn't get the 2nd foot in. You would imagine him being close to a 90 overall, talking about Hollywood Brown. He would be able to get that 2nd foot in. But a little bit of running room down the middle will help us make it, again, a more manageable 3rd down. Now, running room hasn't been bad. I shouldn't say it's been bad, but it hasn't been allowing for any huge rushing. Just some little bits of and the hit there definitely threw off the angle of that pass. We had Marshall open, but instead we'll have to send out the field goal team to at least make this another 2-possession game. Right down the middle, and that one leaning left, but will stay in. We'll make it at least a 10-point game. Now, this team has been prone this year to either get completely blown out, which has only happened like 2 or 3 times, or to play very close games. So we need to see our defense make a stop on this drive, and there he finally hits the turf. Yeah, need to see the defense get a stop on this drive. Keep it a 2-possession game. Don't want to be too much of the Minnesota Vikings from this year as they go to the outside. 1st down, Knox with the catch, and we'll get them to about the 42. And that's all their start for the 4th quarter. We have that 10-point lead, 24-14. The Giants have a chance to make that a 3-score game, or 3-point game. 3-score game would be nice. So if we won a game by 3 scores, that would definitely be the comeback answer that this team needed after losing to the Packers last week, 52-7. Another audible here for the Giants. Will stay with what we changed to, and they have a quick pass to the outside. Saquon with the stretch gets them a 1st down, but one of their offensive linemen is shaken up. And while he heads to the locker room for further evaluation, the drive will continue. And I tried to check out of a blitz, but ends up not working too great. Tony with his 3rd catch, 2nd score of the day. To make things even harder for us, the rookie returner thought he was in the end zone when he called fair catch, but he definitely was not. So we'll bring out Nall, and that heavy run will get us to the 11, 2nd and inches. At least gives us a little bit of space to breathe. Let's flip the play here, go with another read option. Try to get to the outside. Plenty of room there if Murphy can find the corner, and he doesn't, but he holds on to the ball. I'm sure we all had a collective gasp when that hit came in, but good play there from Murphy. First down and holds on to it. I mean, that's all we need from him. Rondale Moore around the edge with a jet sweep. Try to cut back in, and a delayed juke will bring him out at the 36. Just gotta love that with Madden. Either way, first down though. Keep the drive alive, as we should probably start to chew the clock a little bit here. Pass underneath Marshall. Get forward, close to another first down, brought about a yard shy. So now we finally have that chew clock on. Go with a little RPO here. Maybe we toss it out, or we just hand it off, or it's apparently a read option. First down with Kyler. I always forget which ones I actually have to hand the ball off. But we'll keep the drive alive. Single high safety, couple medium, one deep, couple short routes. See what ends up opening up here for us, and not much. Kyler will take a big hit from former Cardinal J.J. Watt. Getting a little revenge as we traded him away in the first season. Now gives us a little bit more down distance that we need to go with. We'll throw it out late, and at least we'll avoid some of the lost yardage, but still be a loss of 2. So 3rd and 16. Let's go with a safe call here. Well, at least should be a catch. Try to let some blocking set up. Try to get Callahan some space. Breaks another tackle. We'll at least get Ford for a little bit closer to midfield. Chew a little bit more clock. And now with 2 minutes, 51 seconds left on the clock, the Giants have a chance to get down the field and take their first lead late in this game. Go to the underneath pass. Easily knocked away by Simmons. And I just realized we haven't ran a double A gap look yet today, so let's bring the double A gap blitz. We should have a easy rush off the edge, and we do, but Gardick whiffs on the angle, and a first down to Knox. Should have been an easy sack, but instead first down for the Giants. So keep this thing going. Simmons try to sit underneath, and they'll go to the outside and knocked away. Good job from Budda Baker. 2nd and 10, making a slight audible here, switching to a more zone cover play rather than a blitz. They'll go underneath again. Robinson close to the first down, 2 yards shy. And on 3rd and 2, 9 seconds left before the 2-minute warning. If we could get the stop here, that would be huge. Will be a pass. We'll drop out into coverage, but a first down to Knox. Those tight ends, they've been killer. Well, that sends us into the 2-minute warning. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. And maybe this time we could get a better rush. They are empty set. We should have a free guy. Sending the double A gap blitz. Gardick clean off the edge once again, and this time he hits home. Much better angle this time. Kept it to where it was basically either going to be a sack or a throwaway. Quickly switch out of the double A gap on this play. Had a wide open receiver. Murphy gets over there. Get the tackle. Timeout called. We'll bring up a 3rd and 9. A minute, 36 seconds on the clock. It's 4th down territory. You got to go for it if you want a chance to take this game late. And tight coverage knocked away by Murphy Jr. One more play. That's all the defense has to do. Get a stop on one more play. It will be a pass and a catch, and then I'm pretty sure they're going to call DPI for the slightest touch Collins had. And exactly as I called it. That will set them up at the 37. A little under a minute and a half left on the clock. Will be a pass. And another pass caught by Tony. He's been great today. And now we're definitely going to need a quick turnover. Knocked away, Oliver. Great play. They are in field goal range to tie the game. Would not give them the lead. They need a touchdown if they want to win this in regulation. Quick pass to 19. Galladay puts them up. just had a quick slant, and we just couldn't keep up with him. The Giants take their first lead with 1 minute and 4 seconds on the clock. Well, Kyler, if there's going to be a time to answer back, it's going to be now. 1 minute, 4 seconds. We need a touchdown. Field goal does not help us. Can we get anyone open downfield one-on-one by Brown with a fantastic grab that he drops as he hits the turf? You can't ask for a more heroic time to make a play than that. He had it, just couldn't squeeze it. We'll bring in the young rookie receiver, gets stuck on the block, and we end up getting nothing really out of it. We'll have to go to hurry up. About 40 seconds left on the clock, 3rd and 8. We need a first down. We have a receiver coming across. Can Moore get there? No, he drops it. We've had 2 huge plays on this drive alone dropped when it should have been a huge chunk or at least a first down. Throw to the outside. Callahan does get the catch. First down, we call a timeout. Was a risky play, but one we had to have. We get the job done. But job isn't complete. Another throw to the outside and a DPI, this time on the Giants. That'll get us close to midfield. So we'll have a bunch to the right, one lone receiver to the left. You have a guy in the seam and a flag down. I don't know if there was a late hit or holding. Huge mistakes by the Giants defense. We still have 2 timeouts, 20 seconds left. We need to play smart. Let's go with the draw. Get some yards. Derek Young with a first down. We'll call one of those timeouts. With that run, it gets us down to the 25. 15 seconds on the clock. Making a couple hot routes here is Murray. Trying to get a one-on-one to the back corner. There goes McBride with the catch, with the lead. That time it wasn't dropped. Trey McBride. And what a throw. What a catch. But what a throw from Kyler. Under pressure, makes the hot routes, extending the route. It should have been a little bit shorter than that, but then the placement angled him more towards the end zone. And the tight end outran the rest of that defense. 10 seconds stands in the way of either of these teams winning. Once again, the Giants need to find themselves getting back on the board quickly. And they go with a short pass to Saquon and use one of their last remaining timeouts. They have 4 seconds. 1 timeout. They're going to have to chuck these deep. Can we get a pass rush? No, they go to the outside. Caught Knox with no time remaining. He could not get the touchdown, couldn't get out of bounds before the end of the time expiring. Bad way of saying it, but we won. Once again, this Cardinals team plays a close game, almost blowing it late. But Trey McBride had a really good game. 2 really good catches. One just being a catch to secure the win. We do hold Saquon to less than 100 rushing yards, 32 as a total for the Giants team, but we forced them to pass the ball, and they passed very well. 338 yards. We passed pretty well, like I was saying. A one-hand grab in close proximity to the defender with Trey McBride earlier in the game, and then the touchdown grab. But this game shouldn't have come down to being that close. Roll out the red carpet, baby, because I have arrived. Did you see me out there, coach? I am an anchor on this defense, man. Honestly, we just took away the run game because we forced them to pass. I don't think it was entirely Tim Settle doing anything spectacular, but he only moves up to a star dev. Hopefully that improves the defense, because the defense needs to improve. And they're going to need to improve quickly, as we'll be playing against the Philadelphia Eagles next episode. Now, this series started prior to, I think, the season even really starting. So the Eagles, like Jalen Hurts and how well he's played this year, they didn't even have like that progress, the Madden ratings adjustments. but they still have an 87 overall offense. So the defense is going to need to come to play. We let the Giants get back in that game. We shouldn't have. We had a 2-score lead at one point. It should have just grown. But they're not a super high overall, like I had mentioned. They're only an 80 overall defense. We're going to need to see them play better than that if we're to maintain good favor. I would think if this was real life, this Cardinals team would be talked about the same way the Minnesota Vikings team has been talked about this year. That they're a false, what is it, 10-3 team, 10-2 team. That they're really not as good as they've been playing. They've played a lot of close games. They got blown out several times this year. It's exactly what we're seeing from this Cardinals team. So we need to make sure we don't let that continue to happen. We need to get a real victory. One that doesn't come down late where we let a team crawl back or we barely get ahead later in a game or get completely blown out like the Packers game. In division, though, we're fine. We have a two-game lead over the Rams. We beat them once this year. They beat us once. So I think in general that typically would go to us. So we have a decent lead. We have to make sure we continue to play well the second half. And to make sure you don't miss out on seeing if this team can continue to at least win games or win games convincingly would be nice. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. While you're down there, go ahead and take that little bell icon to be notified of when these videos go live. Always have 2 series going, the traditional and the state only, so make sure you're checking out both of those. And also take a look at the description down below. I have links to my Twitter as well as my TikTok, which you can see the names of. It's the same one underneath me, BigBearB_gaming. TikToks, I do post highlights from all these videos, and I'm thinking of maybe doing sport-related, but also like trendy kind of things. So like instead of like the marry, kill kind of things, it would be more like what position does, I don't know, Disney characters play. Let me know if you're interested in seeing that, and maybe we'll do that. So links to those down below. But until next time, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.
How it's supposed to feel.